So I'm Rikupekka from Finland, and I'm here to talk about are we there yet with Plone 5. And this all goes back to last year conference when I was anticipating the challenges we would get with our website renewal. And if you want to check out the last year presentation and videos, they are still online. And so in 2016 we started at our university this website renewal process from Plone 4 to Plone 5. Then we had a new brand design, a new theme design, and actually changed organizational structures. And last year I tried to think of the challenges we would get and how we would go through them and how Plone 5 would help us in this renewal thing. And now I can look back and a little bit forward on how we did it or didn't do it. Okay, I've been using Plone since 2004 and our university also since that time. I'm a Plone user and site builder, and I do some trainings and support, and I do theming through the web, but everything through the web, so I don't program in that black screen. Okay. Like Eric today, he was fond of stories, and so am I, so I'm going to try to tell you a story of hardworking heroes and some bureaucratic obstacles, massive challenges and giant-sized bugs and perseverance to get through this website renewal. And of course, lots of content. So Finland is up there near North Pole, and it rained this year, so I'm happy to be at Barcelona now. And our university is a middle-sized university in Finland. We got about 15,000 students and 2,600 staff members. And we have been using Plone since 2004, and our public website has been in Plone since 2005. And we now have 6 faculties, some departmental sites and separate institute sites, and about 90 Plone instances, which of many are customized applications, not just public websites. Okay, that's the situation we are in. And this is our main website, and some statistics to get you started. About 200,000 visitors per month, page views a little under 2 million. And during these 13 years of Plone usage, there has been lots of content coming in, about 200,000 right now in our public domain, and hundreds of content editors working with Plone. And the University of JYVASKYLA website is divided in about 20 instances or so. And these were the aspects and challenges of this website renewal. So new organizational structure, new brand. I have this new university brand t-shirt here. Also new theme to the website. We wanted to have a new intranet on Plone, of course, and we needed to have a new search engine, and of course Plone 5 everywhere. And why Plone 5? We could have done this whole thing maybe using Plone 4. It has diazo theming, it has Mosaic, and it has dexterity types. But we were thinking about the future, not the current situation, so Plone 5 seemed like the way to go. And we have had some positive feedback on Plone 5 the year before. We tried it in alphas and betas and so on. And this was kind of a technical decision, and no one questioned if we should change to another CMS or whether or not we should upgrade or not. Okay. So last year I anticipated lots of challenges for different people groups, like the content editors. They would have to face this new user interface, new organizational structure, and they would have to actually delete something because we wanted to make the search better and the websites generally better. And of course challenges for the communication, project management, how to manage expectations for different people. We would need new guides and new trainings. And of course, for developers, our team, we do have to do migrations and a new search engine and make sure the releases went well and so on. What I didn't anticipate last year, I didn't pay much attention to other staff members and maybe the students. How would the audience, our users, be affected with this renewal? Okay. When you have challenges and story, you need heroes. So here's our university communications unit. They are responsible for the whole brand renewal and intranet and the whole renewal itself. And then we have content editors, lots of them around the faculties, and they have to do the actual work with the content and with Plone 5. Then we have this ad agency who designed this new brand together with university communications, and they designed a new theme for our website. And of course, my own favorite, our Plone development team. We need to maintain the old site and create new ones and do migrations and so on. Okay. I don't know if we did have any B-lines, but it's here anyway. So this was our plan a year ago. In October, we would do some Plone 5 migrations, create new Plone 5 preview sites. In November, new theme, more migrations, create new intranet site, and in December, everything would be kind of ready for the year 2017, when in January we would release the main website, we would release 2 new faculties, and the intranet. And in spring we would do some more migrations and tweak stuff, and in summer we could just enjoy the sun in Finland. But it just didn't quite go that way, mostly. So next I will tell you the timeline of what we did at different times and then some of the lessons learned. So this was the new faculty site theme, Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, really visual compared to the old one. And it was actually released in the beginning of January as planned, with migrated content and new content and new theme. Okay, the release went fine, but we came up with problems. There were problems with caching. If you changed something, it didn't show immediately. At some point, especially with files, it was slow, which is weird. And Plone 5, we used 5.0.4 or something. There were still some bugs, and the theme wasn't perfect when we released it. And the old site was visible, so there were broken links and wrong content and search problems and stuff like that. And one thing we didn't anticipate was the huge shock about the new theme. Everyone was like, whoa, what's this and what happened? So it really affected people. One challenge here was this new organizational structure. We needed to have we combined 3 faculties into 2 new ones. And also people were moved under the faculties into this university services unit. So those people who were previously updating the faculty sites were now under a different organization unit, and some new people had to learn how to edit Plone content and generally do new work. One good thing we didn't account for last year was that we just thought that we will just migrate all the old content and update to Plone 5, and that's about it, then make some new content. But faculties and departments really wanted to renew their content since it has been there for 10 or 13 years. It wasn't just migration, and it slows down the process, but eventually it will enhance the content quality. We are still working on the last 4 faculties that should be released in the end of this year, hopefully. And we haven't migrated everything. We have migrated when needed some content, but people are doing really good work with that, with new content. Okay. Solutions to these first problems, of course, we were tweaking theme, and one thing I liked about Plone 5 is that there's this new theming system. Me as I could just go through the web to the theming and do some instant fixes there, and then the other guys could put the fixes to file system later on. Lots of Plone 5 related issues. ASCO did many fixes to Plone Core also. We did more training and more guides, and this was really important, this communication thing. We formed new groups for all the website editors in these new faculties, so we could easily contact them and give them instructions, and all the feedback were directed to them directly, considering content. Spring continued. In March we released this another faculty site. It was much smoother release since we had fixed most of the problems. And in April we released partly this intranet site, especially a thing called Help Center, university staff guides. That's really important for our staff members. We released other Plone 5 sites and new Mosaic templates, which I will tell you more about later. And still had one problem, old faculty sites still visible in searches. We tried to tell the faculties that you should hide the old sites, but they still wanted to have them, and we didn't have the authority as technical people to just shut them down. So that was a bureaucratical problem with that. Okay, in summer we got some sun in Finland, of course, especially in July when we held this Plone Midsummer Sprint, which I will tell you more about tomorrow in my presentation. But we also released more Plone sites and created more preview sites. We usually do a preview site with the old site, and you have the old site and you have the preview site, and the content editors can work there, and when it's finished we just switch the address so that the new site shows. Okay, in summer we also had to do other Plone development and other releases not related to this website renewal, so it wasn't the only project we had this year. But when August came, a new semester came, the priorities were that we have to release the new main website when the new semester starts. It will be released before Intranet or other faculty sites. And we did a lot of work to the theming in there, and a lot of work to make the Mosaic templates really usable for the content editors at the University Communications Unit. But when the release day came, there was still things to be fixed in the contents. Theme worked quite well at that point. So we released the main website with 4 main portals, and this is how it looks like. There are huge images, and when you scroll down there are lots of news and even more news and even more bigger images, and it's all responsive and stuff like that. And in the bottom there is a huge social media integration, and then the footer. And I think I will show you the actual page later. Okay, the release went well, and we started to get feedback, and the feedback was this kind of stuff, and this, yeah. Okay, so of course we did a feedback form to our website using Plone Form Gen. That's the best add-on to Plone, I think. We asked what were the impressions on the site, if you had any comments and questions, and which device you used. And so if you have a problematic page, please put the link in there. And this kind of feedback we got. email doesn't work. How does that relate to university website renewal? But, well, we got that. Someone thought it was too modern, too big images, just PR material, empty slogans, and cannot find anything, and something else. And even more feedback, men are presented as researchers studying or leaders, women are just asses. So we had huge images, and if you look at this first page when it was released, so men and our new rector, and then girls down here. And at the last minute, this image here was changed to tell you about this new brand. Originally, there was an image of a wise elderly female, so it would have put the images in balance, but no. Okay, so feedback, we had about 150 feedback messages through this form in a month. In our case, I think that's a lot compared to our previous releases. And people thought that 75% it was bad, 15% it's okay, and 10% it was good. But at first we forgot to put the selection of your role as a feedback giver there. We added the role there, and it showed us that staff members think it's bad, students think it's okay, and external audience said it's good. So this is really interesting information for us. Okay, another thing about releasing university websites. This is an old comic from XKCD. Things on the front page at the university website, things there are, and things people go to the site looking for. And we have seen this image many times before, and we have laughed at it. And this is what happened. So we did all the wrong things, as the comic suggests. So there's this letter from the president in the front page, campus news and events, statements of school philosophy. Then we have alumni in the news, more news. We have the full name of the school in the footer. And campus map, it's here. You can find it. But seriously, you can find all the important stuff there also if you just go to a certain place, like campus address and stuff like that. This new main website was aimed first and foremost to external audience. This is a big change for our university. Previously, the front page has been serving students and staff members, but now it's supposed to look good to the outsiders, to the new students and new members who are looking to get a work at our university. So, but we didn't communicate that to staff members, so the shock was really big. Well, the theme is radically different to the old one, maybe too radically, I don't know. Feedback on search result was really useful, and after the release we deleted lots of old content finally. We improved search results. And this is interesting thing to notice, that when you renew something, people start giving feedback also to, considering the old stuff. So we got some feedback that was targeted to the old sites and stuff like that. Okay. Next, about the new brand. Brand is called Unity and Unique, and it's JYU is the name of JYVASKYLA University, so it's some kind of wordplay there. Okay, another comic. I found the oatmeal comic. I like that, but we warned there might be some bad words in there. So this is a web design which goes straight to hell. Everything is cool at the beginning, of course. There's the client and the designer, and you're looking at the old site, and the old site is just awful, and both laugh at it, how bad it is. And then there's the new redesign on the new website. It looks amazing at first, and everyone is like, yay, this is the way we're going to go. just a few minor changes there, here and there, and just a little more minor changes, and even more minor changes, so and so on. I won't show you the rest of the comic, but you get the point. So this was interesting working as a Plone development team. We had to make the new theme work, but we didn't design it. And University Communications was communicating with the ad agency, and they were gathering feedback on different groups at the university. And the new theme is really different to the old one, so there was some resistance to it. The theme was already approved in a whole 1 year ago, also by some high-level people. But when we released the first faculty site, people really noticed that, whoa, what's this? And we had to change some things, many things actually. Maybe changes in certain details, and that created a lot of work for our developers. And next time we will need to have a better documentation on what was decided and by whom, so we can say that no, this is actually what was decided and this is the way we're going to go, so we don't have to do it twice or 3 times and so on. But in the end it does look like the original design, and we didn't have to water it down too much, so that's a good thing. About web design and LOREM IPSUM. This is the design for a news carousel, and it looks pretty nice. But when you go to Finland, your titles tend to be this long, so I don't like LOREM IPSUM in web design at all. Okay, so these were also the things we had to tweak in the theme to make it work in Finnish language. Okay, a couple of images for you. This is the old university front page. Still has the picture of president. And it has lots of links for university staff members and students, and it was mostly text-based content and really many links there. And the new front page is somewhat more visual. At this point, I probably could demonstrate it to you right here. Okay, this is quite a small screen, but as I said, it's responsive, so it comes from here. There are huge images and so-called visual navigation. A couple of blocks are reserved for news, and then there's also video and these big blocks. And there's this news carousel. I think we have a long title somewhere here. Oh yeah, this is two lines in here. And then there's this, what's great about University of JYVASKYLA. Some large images here and there, and then even more images. And here's a social media integration. This is actually quite nice. And if you use it on a mobile phone or tablet, or so it's really responsive. And here's the one nice feature we ripped out from Castle CMS. Thank you for that. So-called focus point feature. So you have a large image there, and you use the same image twice. You can select the focus point, so it doesn't show a person's like only hair or his feet, but it shows the face here. So that's something really nice. Okay, and another portal, and this is all Mosaic, so it's quite easy to it's easy to update. And here we have another huge images, some drop-down menus. Some of these features we as developers didn't like. I think we have some understanding on what is good user experience and what is not, but some of these features were really wanted. So here are some drop-down menus, and there are carousels and stuff like that that the actual users always want, even as a developer you don't want them. So that is something to notice. And everything here is editable through the web browser, all these titles and all these things. I think in this picture the focus point isn't correctly placed by the content editors. Okay, let's get back to this presentation. Yeah.
What's the weight of your homepage?
Many megabytes, yeah. But it should load, the first screen should load quite quickly, and it eventually loads the other stuff below when you scroll down. So, but we got some feedback that the site is slow. If you look at that on your mobile phone, it might be a bit much. Yes, here's a technical thing. When we were adapting the new theme to Plone 5, and if you want to know more, ask Asko Soukka about this. We got a new whole theme bundle, HTML, CSS, JavaScript from the ad agency, and the idea was that we could just use the that structure directly on Plone. And the theme was accepted originally, and the first version of Plone theme used the theme bundle as it was, with only small tweaks. Everything good so far. But when we released the first faculty site, changes started to coming, and in the end we had to do all the templates again for ourselves, and there was a lot of work with that. But in the very end, it was worth it, since the elements are now totally in our control, and we can reuse many of the Mosaic elements in many different places. Okay. What you see is what you get is important with Plone and with website content. In our university we have always had the front end and back end both themed, and we wanted to have this time also. But we needed some better tools for content editors to create these visual front pages. Previously we had this add-on called Portal View. It was our own development many years ago. But Mosaic is much better, and it makes this, what you see is what you get, easy. We have customized styles, so-called theme fragments, and we got some positive feedback on the Mosaic thing. And a couple of words about using Mosaic. At first, this year we had to do lots of development and fixes. But they helped the whole community, I hope. Asko did amazing work on that also. We created these customized theme fragments like feed carousel and hero image carousel and social media integration, and we can use them in any Mosaic page now. We also have these different page layout for department page, faculty page, university front page, and just a regular document page, and we're going to have a certain layout for project pages also, and we can do that with Mosaic. And this was one interesting and good feature. We have layouts that have some fixed areas and some customizable areas, so you can have best of the both worlds. You can keep the pages somewhat coherent, but still make them flexible and look like your own pages. Okay, here are some examples only as images. This is the faculty page of humanities. It doesn't show that well, but here's this huge carousel, but it is totally customizable and editable in the browser. You just edit the page, and you have these rich text blocks over the background images, and the images can be changed just as easy in there. So that is something really nice. Here's an example of a newspick. If I show you the this Faculty of Humanities site, well, I actually could edit it here. Here's a newspick. They are huge images. Well, maybe I'll just do it the demo way, since I still have some time. It takes a while to load the Mosaic page, and you have to wait until it loads the whole page. to actually edit it. But here we go. That's it. That's the research accordion here, and I could just do some stuff here. And I hope I'm in the demo page now, if just testing. And then you can add a link there and use it as a Plone. And if I want to change the background image, here's the edit button, and you can find a new image here and select the display size. Well, this should be only one in this case, but that's quite easy. Then we have this RSS feed carousel, also directly editable here. We got these feeds, and we can change the order of them and change the title in there and stuff like that. That's all too easy also. And here we have these news pick items, which I can also edit. It shows actual content from Plone, so if you create a new news item, you can show it in the front page, so you don't have to do it twice for the front page and the content. You just find the proper content. It has this certain image, lead image in Plone 5. It takes there. You can select keywords and title and mobile title if you want to have it shorter. And then there's this focus point thing, maybe on the hand or the flower, and some more descriptions and settings for layout, default or grand, color filter, red or blue, and text align and stuff like that. So that's, in my opinion, that's quite easy. Okay, now I'll just save this and see how it works. I didn't change that much, but in the research, yeah, it shows just testing here. Okay, back to the presentation. Okay, this was the newspick focus point. Then we have departmental layout. There's this huge image carousel. That's also easily editable. You can select either images there, or you can select content items there, and if they have a lead image, you can use it as the carousel. And if it's a content item like news, it creates automatically direct link from the carousel to the content item. And you can select the color filter from the theme, and you can set the title there and stuff like that. So that's really easy. Well, I get to do the demo. Yeah, I could have showed even more, but I think that's enough. Okay, that about Mosaic. Then we had this thing called, well, we wanted to release the sites, and we needed to release especially the main site. There was lots of content, and we knew that all the content wouldn't be ready when we release it. So we needed to figure out the way to show the old site and the new site at the same domain at the same time. And my colleagues, Jussi Talaskivi and others, they created this fallback director and varnish combination. So we could, if the address was found on the new site, it would show the new site. But if the address wasn't, if the page wasn't on the new site, it would automatically redirect to the old site. So we could release content in smaller pieces, and that works really well right now. Even if you're logged in as a content editor, it depends if you are on the old site or the new site, but it all works. So this is really useful for the content editors. Okay, even more challenges. One was this intranet. We want to have one portal for all staff members in Plone. We already have a portal for staff members, but it's IP restricted for viewing. It's not a good idea. Now we will have intranet which uses separate credentials for everyone. So if you want to see the intranet, you have to log in, and it will have intranet workflow and just basic Plone stuff. It does intranets really well. And we have already departmental intranets in their own department sites, but we want to have all intranets in the same one site. And we did release the help center of our intranet in April, and we wanted to release the new intranet in this September or October, but we got some last-minute changes. I will tell you more about that also. Okay, another challenge we had this was with search engine. We have a Google Search Appliance. Its license will expire soon. We will change it to Solar and Elasticsearch. We will delete lots of old content. In September, we finally got to wipe out the old faculty sites. They were online for 9 months in parallel to the new sites, so that was really awful, but finally they are gone. We need to educate content editors to create good titles, descriptions, and so on. We have this tool called Keyword Match, with which we can make really good search results visible. And we have this thing called UBAR. It's on every page in University of JYVASKYLA. There's this top bar, and if you go to different services, even outside Plone, you can have the same bar in there, and you can search and find the most important links in there. And there we have this search engine integration. It shows people, it shows new courses, and it shows guides and all the website content. And we have to make that work with Solar also in the future. Yes, our plan for the rest of the year is it was to release intranet when we get back from this Plone conference, but last minute changes. Intranet portal will be released after the faculty sites, so the faculty sites will be the most important thing next. Okay, and then we have to do the search appliance renewal. We will have to help faculties to publish the sites, and we have been asked to create a new dictionary type for projects, especially research projects, and also with Mosaic layout. Okay, we get to lessons learned section. Lots of lessons learned. I don't think this website renewal in this scale wasn't quite well enough resourced. All the people had to do their old work and also do the renewal thing. And what we could have really appreciated would have been a full-time Plone power user or admin who could have helped with the content especially. I think we got the technical details worked out, and we got the theme and brand thing worked out, but working with the actual content with the new editors, that was some we couldn't help enough. We did have some new people working, and that's really good thing. There was a project and resources for the brand renewal, so that's a good thing. And one learning experience, while there was this organizational change at our university, it was hard for people, but I think, in my opinion, it energized some of the people, so they get to do new stuff. And maybe they got to work with Plone, so it was a good thing for many people in that sense. Different day, different stuff. Yes, about communication, really important in projects generally. We did have public preview sites throughout the year for new faculties. We did seminars for content editors. We had public pages and trainings and email info, but that's not enough. Using Flowdoc chat tool was really useful for us. Okay, here's the Flowdoc chat. Use chat if you can. About priorities, you need to prioritize things in big projects. That's one thing to learn next time. And doing things synchronously with the departments when they want to release, we have to be ready for that. And maybe some push from university administration, some deadlines would be good. About Plone 5, we got good feedback from it. Its toolbar is nice, user interface is pretty clean. Mosaic is nice. We are not missing that many features. Trainings are easy. There was a lot of fixes in the beginning of the year with Plone, but we are doing just fine, and theming tools helped. And the cutting edge is good for sushi maybe, but we are actually running Plone 5.1, Beta 1, Dev 1 or something like that on our main production university website, so it's running quite okay, so don't be afraid of using Plone betas. About migrations, most of our content was already dexterity. We had to do some migrations and some decisions on whether to migrate or not. We just we did the easy way some of the things and still using form folders as arts type. Yes. About Mosaic, it's really a blast. People are using it and liking it. Yeah, people are updating the Mosaic pages much more frequently than the previous portal view pages. And other notes, well, the design is heavy. There are lots of images. We can't do anything about that, and still we have this one program that doesn't work. To summarize it up, we were renewing content. It was not just migration. There was a lot of work with theme, ended up fine, I think. Also a lot of work with Plone 5, but now it works fine. Communication is important, and Mosaic is a blast. And it's been a really fun year, even though some of us are tired with the renewal, but we need to continue work with Intranet and search and other faculties and so on. And to answer the question, are we there yet? No, we are not there yet, but the road goes on, and that's just fine. Okay, thank you. Any questions?
Thank you very much. Do you have any questions? No. Then I have one. You're using Mosaic a lot on the pages, and you're having a lot of tiles.
Yeah.
Do you experience any performance issues when having a lot of tiles with sub-requests and so on?
I don't think so. Yeah, we have a lot of tiles there, but and the pages are long. But the problems weren't with the Mosaic; they were with something else in the winter, and we fixed those things.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you get a lot of requests to develop custom tiles? Because once you start with this, my experience is with any kind of tile system that people pile up, oh, I want this special thingy, I want this special thingy, and before you know it, you're developing 30 or 40 custom tiles.
Yeah,
how was your experience with that?
We have maybe 10 custom tiles, but hopefully not 30 or 40. But yeah, people are asking them. Yeah, so we get the requests, but so far we are doing fine with that.
So you are using Mosaic to implement your page layouts, and my question would be, do you impose any limits on your editors how they can change the layouts, and if you do, how you do that?
Yeah. We have limitations. We have these certain predefined layouts which have fixed places here and there, and some couple of places where you can add your own tiles. So we limit things, but we also have this basic Mosaic page where you can put as many tiles as you want, so we can't limit that. Yeah.
I'm just curious if you're using Plone also as on the admin side for new student signups, or is that APIing out?
No, we are not using it.
So
Yeah.
Is there any plan to integrate that in, since Plone actually can manage those things? Or?
No, we are, in Finland there are huge projects considering how to handle new students, so we are doing that. Yeah.
Could you say a little more about your decision process for moving from Google to Solar? Sorry if I missed that at the beginning.
Yeah, on our decision to move from Google, yeah. I don't know, we have been kind of happy with Google Search Appliance, but it costs, I don't know. Somehow we did have Solar before, and now we had Google Search Appliance, and now we're going back to Solar. And that's a technical decision. Asko and Jussi Talaski will tell you more about the reasons behind that. Okay. tomorrow remember my other presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.